Whatever it takes. Hollywood.
Hey, lazy, this shit is crazy.
What the fuck is going on? 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 These raps is like some scripture to me, yeah, they different for me. Seen my dog pass away, that shit get vivid for me. Praying on my downfall, I won't forget. Before I jump that porch, we learn how to crawl, yeah. I rose grew from the concrete. The shit y'all boys cap about beyond me. I'm a born G. I be kicking out this flame, bitch, like Bruce Lee. I know they speak my name in vain, but I can't worry about it. All this pain that's in my songs, it got me hurting about it. How my niggas doubt me like there's no birdie from me. They talking dollars and baguettes, we still behind the trench. Broad daylight shooting handguns from behind the fence. I'm with some killers that's gonna hit bout it. In a spot that you got, you might get blicked out and rerouted. How y'all said that y'all believed in me. How y'all said that y'all believed in me. How y'all said, what the fuck is going on? 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 These raps is like some scripture to me, yeah, they different for me. See my dog pass away, that shit get vivid for me. Praying on my downfall, I won't forget. Before I jump that porch, we learn how to crawl, yeah. These raps is like some scripture to me, yeah, they different for me. See my dog pass away, that shit get vivid for me. Praying on my downfall, I won't forget. Before I jump that porch, we learn how to crawl, yeah. What the fuck been going on? How y'all brothers, but y'all moving on? I thought them bonds were strong. Look tomorrow, hit that promise, your dog could be gone. You can't prove me wrong. I can't put another soldier name inside a song. In them trenches, I was back in. Rubber grip that Mac 10. Foundation solid, I got traction. If I don't do it, who taking action? I kill it with passion. I remember back when niggas standing tall for their body. That was back when niggas stayed solid and we caught them when they crept in. Ain't want nothing moving on that block till we stepped in. Niggas getting stepped on as soon as niggas caught wind. These raps is like some scripture to me, yeah, they different for me. See my dog pass away, that shit get vivid for me. Praying on my downfall, I won't forget. Before I jump that porch, we learn how to crawl, yeah. These raps is like some scripture to me, yeah, they different for me. See my dog pass away, that shit get vivid for me. Praying on my downfall, I won't forget. Before I jump that porch, we learn how to crawl, yeah. Whatever it takes. It's Hallie. Just say when. Just say when. Just say when. Just say when. I gotta feed the block, fuck with he only gon' lose his top, yeah. All the time that I lost, I'm watching both hands on top of the clock, yeah. My niggas, they say I'm the one, I had to believe inside I'm a pop, yeah. I got a voice inside, they tell me to live, and I can't stop, yeah. Just say when. I'm waiting for you, just say when. I'm waiting for you, just say when. I'm waiting for you, just say when. Waiting. Go now, I was watching it go down, I don't feel like I'm home now. All the love that I get from the whole town, yeah, we know that it's up now. Thank God that we moved from whole pounds, we'll be rocking them shows now. Paranoid that I got from a past life, got me gripping the 4 pound. One life I was living before now we breaking the dough down. Same pain that's inside of my heart, nigga, on God I won't fold now. Shine light, gotta shine on the whole crowd, show the world how to glow now. Got body what I'm giving the world now, cause I'm showing my son how. Gotta move and think like AK. Gotta move and think like AK. Gotta move and think like AK. Like a gang, yeah. I gotta feed the block. Fuck with these young, gon' lose his top, yeah. All the time that I lost, I'm watching both hands on top of the clock, yeah. My niggas, they say I'm the one, I had to believe inside I'm a pop, yeah. I got a voice inside, they tell me to live, and I can't stop, yeah. Just say when. Just say when. Just say when. Just say when.
Waiting and waiting.
Just say when.
I'm waiting for you just
say when.
I'm waiting for you just
say when.
I'm waiting for you just
say when.
Waiting and waiting.
Whatever it takes. Exactly.
Right, this shit crazy.
Feel nothing at all. Put my pain and don't feel nothing at all. Yeah. Yeah, for my pain and don't feel nothing at all. For these niggas, nah, ain't nothing but God. I had to move around with nothing but frauds. I tried to bring the team together, get my vision involved. I gave a plan, but niggas scrambled the time to pick up that call. We can't get 1,500 in a 6-week span. Time to pay up, everybody goes, I be damn. I should've seen it. All I got is Rain, Slim, Tim, you know it's Teach. I got Tay and I got Leaf. I got Deja and Salih. I got Foreign, they got Feet. They say your name, that's cause you preach. Them niggas folded under heat. No umbrella, let them shots rain down. You believe the dream to stand up, if not lay down. Let it rain down. If you my nigga, then just say it. If you ain't got it, then just say it. Let it rain down. Yeah,
my nigga, then just say it.
Let it rain down.
Let it rain down.
Right, this shit crazy.
Yeah. We gotta weather the storm. If you don't understand, get better informed. I'm from the trench, and my trust really weathered and torn. With my niggas from the sandbox, trying to put this shit on top some water, but we laying low. We all want the same shit, but can't get on the same page. How bad do y'all really want it? Niggas just be saying things, replacing with y'all lives now. Everything that I pipe down. Yeah, I was chilling for a minute, but I'm live now. Niggas talking about the past, come get with me right now. Come and really see my grind. Come and see me live now. I'm live now. I'm live now. Come and see me live now. Ain't no umbrella, let them shots rain down. You believe the dream, then stand up, if not lay down. Feel it rain down. My nigga, then just say it. You ain't got it, then just say it. Let it rain down. Yeah, ain't no umbrella, let them shots rain down. You believe the dream, then stand up, if not lay down. Feel it rain down. If you my nigga, then just say it. If you ain't got it, then just say it. Let it rain down. Let it rain down. Yeah.
My nigga, did you say it? You my brother, did you say it?
Let it rain down.
Let it rain down.
Right, this shit crazy.
Peace, love, and light to everybody in the building. Happy day, you guys. Pretty crappy day weather-wise outside. It's pretty cold, wet, nasty. But it's another Earth return, a solar return, a birthday, an Anna, however you want to presume it. Peace and blessings to everybody in the building. This is another one, man. 6 of them back-to-back consecutively with you guys, with the Aboriginal community, if you will. I know the community word get loosely thrown around, but I actually look at you guys as family and friends that I see on the daily and over the course of the last few years. Peace and blessings to everybody that's in the building. I hope y'all ready for today's show. We're going to do a part 2 to the untold history of white slaves, the harsh treatment of whites, and the first slaves in America. We're going to be talking about that. But, man, I appreciate all the birthday support, I really do, man. Shout out to everybody. It means a lot coming from you guys. Appreciate y'all are here. I wasn't even going to do a live stream today. I really wasn't. I wasn't going to do a live stream. I was like, fuck, it's kind of crappy outside today. I'm not really gonna do nothing today. Probably wait till this weekend. So I was like, I'm gonna bring this one in once again, with the Aborigines, with my family. Shout out to everybody in the building. I'm going to take the time to shout out everybody that's in the building. Shout out to the 61 brothers and sisters that's tuning in, wherever you are. Shout out to everybody else that's in the chat that's tuning in. Make sure y'all drop those. Excuse me. Yes, soda. Make sure y'all drop a fire emoji in the chat. Let me know that y'all can hear me loud and clear. You know what I mean? Let's get the energies right. Let's see some confetti, some balloons and shit. You know what I'm saying? Turn up. Also support the channel, man. If y'all want to support the channel for my time, effort, commentary, and that we put in when it comes to work, hey, Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. Make sure y'all support the channel. Let's shout out to some of the brothers and sisters that's in here right now. Shout out to Haynes. Shout out to Matthew Simmons. Shout out to Jeremy Royster. Shout out to Boot Camp. Shout out to TB Christian. Shout out to He Who Is. Shout out to Shada Boom. He said, Happy C-Day, AP. I appreciate that. Jeremy Royster said, what the fuck is going on? Shout out to that. You know, that's a fire banger. Shout out to Craig Lloyd. Gary Carter, appreciate you, brother. Craig Lloyd once again said happy birthday. Noble Atum Bay said big Aboriginals, big Memphis. Shout out to Enoch's in the building. Shout out to Julian Wooden. He said happy birthday, Bout. Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate the birthday support. Jeremy Royster also wishing me happy birthday. Enoch's, Haynes, and a few other people. Who else we got here? Don Philly, Bridge the Third, Michelle Norton, Copper Colored Goddess. Brown Sugar says, AP, happy born day. We appreciate that. Shout out to Brown Sugar. We really appreciate that. Shout out to everybody that's wishing me happy birthday. Ricardo D. Copper Colored Goddess as well. Chief Crazy Overstanding. The Younger family. Shout out to the Younger family. Shout out to Sagittarius Jones. Shout out to Rashad TSL. Shout out to Chief Crazy Overstanding. Shout out to the Ghost of Aboriginal TV. He said, happy birthday, my nigga. You already know, brother. You already know. Another one down and plenty more to go. Sagittarius Jones, wish me happy birthday. Happy birthday from all three of you brothers. Let's shout you out. Bridge the Third, Rashad, TSL. We got Glocky in here. Appreciate the birthday support. Jamie, JM3 Legacy. Appreciate the support. Just me, 69. I appreciate the support. Really, I really appreciate that. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Rodney Gilmore. Say happy C-Day Copper Grizzly. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Bronze Flat Power. Shout out to X8DEV Hefe, aka Hardline Boss. Blessings to you as well, Sister Soul. Sister Soul said, bliss and amazing arising on your Earth Day. Enjoy. I appreciate that. I really do. Shout out to Samantha White. Said happy B-Day. We really appreciate that as well. Ignorant West said happy Cake Day. We appreciate that, man. Definitely going to eat some cake today. Ricky McKinney said, yes, God, happy birthday. Get more Janine C, Big Dog Philly OG. Shout out to everybody in the building that's in the building, man. How y'all feeling out here this Grand Rising? Y'all okay? Y'all ready to tune in for today's episode? Could be doing a million other things, but I'm here again, rocking out with some heat. Gonna get you some fire information today. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. Shout out to X8. Shout out to Hardline Boss for the birthday wishes as well. Appreciate that, brother. Make sure y'all support the channel. Outlast you. Happy birthday, Big AP. We appreciate that. We really, really appreciate that. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. We really appreciate that, honestly. So shout out to everybody that's tuning in. All right, so we're gonna be getting into a few things. Here in just a second. Shout out to everybody that's in the building too, by the way. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your live stream. We got some heat we're gonna get to today. We're gonna cook it up. We're gonna pick up where part 2 was yesterday. dealing with the untold history of white slaves in America. So this will be interesting. We're gonna pick up on where we left off with a particular book. We're gonna get into another book introduced to us dealing with the mishaps and the false conceptions and of history dealing with slavery in America. One of the most erroneous things that have went down in any time of history is slavery, and what they have lied throughout the course of history is who history pertained to. They have always bucketed, blanketed, or cloaked this particular slavery on a particular class of people that we call Africans or so-called black people in America, when in fact that white slaves were the first slaves in America, the most rendered slaves, the most beat on and mistreated slaves in America. Okay, so we're gonna get to that in just a second. Shout out to everybody in the building. Drop them fire emojis in the chat if y'all can hear me. I want to make sure we setting the energy off right. Also, I want to give a shout out to Ricardo D for the Cash App donation. He said, "Here goes $20 for your happy birthday, G. I mean, for your happy G Day." Appreciate that, Ricardo D. I really appreciate the $20 Cash App donation. We appreciate that. We'll take all donations. We are humbly appreciative of all support and donations to this channel. Right? Shout out to Leonardo. He said he sent the $10 Cash App donation. He said, "Happy B Day, my brother." You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Big Dog Philly OG. Hope all is well with you and your family. And the Miss OG, Philly OG. I'm gonna say to your mother. And hope all is well with her as well. Peace and blessings to everybody. Make sure y'all support the channel. All right. So yeah, let's get right into a few things, man. Y'all see it, man. Y'all already know the channel. Also, I want to start off by saying if y'all not following me on Instagram, make sure y'all go follow me. Follow me on Twitter. TikTok, I've been going crazy. We're gonna start doing more builds over there on TikTok. We're gonna figure out how to go live over there. So I need everybody that's on TikTok, that's following on Instagram. I need y'all to go share my TikTok, get it cracking. We're trying to get up to 1,000 followers on TikTok. We only got like 600 to 700. Sorrel, what are you doing? You okay? All righty. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got D. Allen Warren in here. All right. We got Wood in the building. Mr. C. All right. Dr. Swindle Hoodrink. My big brother Hawk School. Appreciate the birthday shout outs. Appreciate that. Shout out to everybody in the building. Royal and Loyal. Calusa Presents Spirits. Grit and Spit TV. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody. Like I said, I'm enjoying my Earth Day, my solar return. We got Baba Rashawn live in the chat. Appreciate you for tapping in. It's always a blessing. It's good to see you in the chat. Hope all is well. So like I said, we're going to be talking about the untold history of white slaves. This is part 2. We're going to be dealing with the harsh treatment of whites, dealing with the first slaves in America. So I'm going to just give you some imagery before we get to it. We'll just give you some imagery so we can look at on the screen as we chop it up just a little bit. Let's see if we can get this any bigger on the screen. All right, so here goes some living. We see some. So we see various different photos of how these people was living in the early 1900s, late 1800s, excuse me. We see how some of these folks was living. You know, just them getting off of these boats. You can't find, what's funny is you can find tons of photos from the 1800s. I mean, tons of photos from the 1800s. All the way up to the 1900s, which is during this slave time. Like it was slavery still going on in 1820s. There was still slavery allegedly going on in 1820s. They didn't abolish slavery until 1865. So you still, what I've never seen is a painting, any photos, because we know illegal transportation. I've never seen large quantities of Negroes on a boat. So it is hard to, and that's one of the most erratic illusions that I've seen, because when I look throughout history and I look for historical photos and I'm going to these particular old records and some of the earliest use of photos, I'm finding pale skins on boats by large numbers. I'm finding pale skins on a boat by large numbers. You know what I'm saying? So we I want y'all to focus in on that. Now, we was told that these people came in through boats for slavery, and we should already have that in understanding. So let's keep going with some of these photos. There goes some vagabonds outside getting ready to get handed food, and most of this food product was coming from leftover produce from our land that we would donate away to the Goodwill and other food drives. So that's where most of this shit come from. This is how they started getting your identity, man. This is the Red Cross, uh, Blue Shield, all that. Here goes some more vagabonds getting on the train. I mean, they're heading in for the hotel in the New York cities. Yeah, 1810 is when photos was uh, created. They was started being widely used in the 1830s. Uh, um, so yeah, man, we should start seeing real HD photos of slaves. In 1820, they should be having some of the most accurate depictions of slaves. When somebody go buy a new car, new jewelry, or new robot, or a toy, or a dog, it's often pictures of it. They will be proud of it. I have not seen any photos of slaves. Allegedly, I have. Allegedly, I haven't. There goes some more. This is before 1810. So these are photo renditions of starving pale skins getting ready at a homeless shelter somewhere north of Detroit, possibly in Nova Scotia. This could be possibly Canada, Nova Scotia area. Vagabond white kids laying out by the trash as the trash men come through white driven areas in New York. Here goes some more images of some little children that you see coming fresh off the orphan train, uh, trying to get sold for milk. These children are actually for sale. More pale skinned kids in the city of New York while a dead cow lays in the middle of the street. Similar to how they did in the dark ages of Europe. They brought that same mentality culture here. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the building. This is early living. It was hard for these pale skins here in the early arrivals times of America. It was very, very hard for these people. Here go another family of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What we would call indentured servants at this particular time. And it looks like this is some mongoloid mix. If you look at some of the phenotypes, if you zoom in on the phenotype there, and if you zoom in on her phenotype there, this is not just a straight pale skin. He is a straight pale skin, or European, if you will. If you will, no arguing to death. So this is what you ultimately looking at right here. And it seems like the Native Americans and the pale skins had always been working together under my own research. Shout out to everybody in the building. I did not mean to go to this, but this is a book, which I will get into on another note. But right now we're dealing with white slaves in America. So let's go to my next source that I have lined up for you guys. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hopefully you guys are ready to get into this next message. If y'all can see the screen clear, or if it's big enough, large enough for you guys, make sure you drop a fire emoji in the chat. Let me know that y'all can see it loud and clear. I want to make sure we're good on you guys in. Drop a fire emoji. Before I move on, I want to make sure you guys drop a fire emoji. Let me know that y'all can hear it clear. Give me a little taste of my coffee. Got a lot of reading we're about to get into. Last chance to light my wood. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. We about to get into a blast right here, man. And don't forget, man, this is the birthday bash edition. I should have put that in the title. This is the birthday bash edition. So let's get into it. White losses in the Middle Passage, higher than the blacks, right? It said white slaves transported to the colonies suffered a staggering loss of life in the 17th and 18th century. During the voyage to America, it was customary to keep the white slaves below deck. Now, most images, they'll tell you that the black slaves was below deck, but they said most commonly, right? The most customary that white slaves were kept below deck. For the for the entire 9 to 12 week journey, they would be kept down there. White slaves would be confined to a hole not more than 16 feet long, chained with 50 other men abroad with a padlock collars round their neck. So you know this is literally the image that they give you in like Free State of Jones. And you see this run away in the woods, and he can't get through the fence because he got this copper metal fucking thing on his neck that won't let him get through certain tight spaces. So, but this is what was on so-called, and this is what the literature says. Excuse me, no, we being blunt here, but this is all for educational purposes. So what we're dealing with is white people, pale skin, slaves. So they were held with padlocks around their collars and necks. The weeks of the confinement below decks in the ship stifling hold often results in outbreaks of contagions, disease, which will sweep through the cargo of white freight chains at the bottom of the ships, which explain, we all talked about the honky hole. So the honky hole is what and no offense to anyone, the honky hole is the below deck area that would have been written with diseases and contagions. And what place had this great breakout of contagions and diseases? Europe. And it's not ironic that it happened in Europe during this particular time that they say that this slave trade would have been taking place. The reason that the outbreak even took out is because they was being enslaved in erroneous conditions, which created to the Black Plague, the Dark Plague, the Dancing Plague, and various other different plagues that catastrophically wiped out 1/3 of the population in Europe and then in various different nations on the Eastern Hemisphere. So we're dealing with some sick stuff. So this is what's not told in history. They'll tell you that, oh, they had these diseases, this outbreak, but they don't tell you that it came from the bottom of ships, slave ships. And mind you, they wasn't documented on these slave ships as cargo, as slaves. They was documented as freight, and children would be documented as half freight. We read that yesterday, so I'm going to be quizzing you guys throughout this as well. Ships carrying white slaves to America often lost half their slaves to death. According to historian Sharon V. Saulinger, scattered data revealed that the mortality of white servants at a certain times equaled that for black slaves in the Middle Passage, and during other periods actually exceeded the death rate of black slaves. Salinger reports that the death rate of 10 to 20% over the entire 18th century for black slaves on board ships en route to America, compared to the death rate of 25% of the whites en route to America. So they said so-called black people died at 20%, and they saying that white slaves died at 25%. Okay, this is what they're saying. Now, take that with a grain of salt, however you want to do it. I do concur that slaves were taken from Africa and brought to the islands. And even their data tells you that majority of the slaves came to the islands. What they do get into is that 3% made it to America, and we even question the 3% because the 3% starts off at 1619, which we challenge the whole 1619 narrative in its whole. All right, so let's continue. According to Forster R. Dawes, right, writing in the Labor in America, states that whether convicted children spirited from the countryside of political prisoners, white slaves experienced discomfort and suffering on the voyages across the Atlantic, parallel to the cruel hardship undergone by Negro slaves on the notorious Middle Passage. Right. So during the middle of the slave trade is when they started bringing in Africans. At the beginning of the slave trade, it started off with whites. And then you'll find out during the middle of this passage of the slave trade and this middle passage, certain laws pertaining to slavery servitude started to switch to a race base in at a certain date. So we're gonna get to that in just a second. So shout out to everybody in the building. Hopefully I'm getting to some things. And bear with me, man. I like to smoke, man. It's hard to smoke and fucking read. All right. Independent investigators A.B. Ellis and the Agrassi writes concerning the transport of white slaves, the human cargo, many whom were still tormented by the unhealed wounds, could not all lie down at once without laying on each other. They were never never suffered to go on deck. The hatchway was constantly watched by signal arms with hangers and blunderbusses. In the dungeons below, all was darkness, stench, lamentations, and disease and death. All right, so that's all that was in the honky hole. Right, darkness, stench, lamentation, disease, and death. Marcus Journey describes the greed of the shipmasters, which led to the erroneous losses of the life of white slaves transported to the America. The voyages often separated as horrors in the famous Middle Passage. So it's comparing this whole erroneous scene to the Middle Passage, which is unique to me, because what we find in the Middle Passage is that they started doing a different type of slave trade during that particular time frame. You see what I'm saying? So let's get to some more things. We're not done. Let's get to a few other ones. Then we're gonna move on. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hold on, you guys. I am currently pulling up another book for us as we get into this. Shout out to everybody in the building. All right. Shout out to everybody in the building. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm just looking for some of my other PDFs that I was supposed to have peeled up, because after we get done with this, they were white, that they were slaves. We're gonna go into another book, and that'll pretty much start off our part 3 because this is part 2. We'll be getting into part 3 here soon. So just bear with me. We got 148 people in here right now. Can we get everybody to hit the like button, please? Can we get everybody to hit the like button? Please, we got 148 people in here. We can get everybody to share the live stream. Matter of fact, you ain't even got to hit the like button. It's okay. We got 87 likes. It's fine. If you can just subscribe to the channel and share the live stream, that would be perfect. If you can just subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, that would be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Share the live stream. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do is share this mug. Man, that would be fantastic. Highly appreciate you. I see y'all looking light on the likes. I ain't gonna say nothing about the likes. Y'all don't even gotta hit the like button no more. I'm not even gonna tell y'all ever to hit the like button. All right. So let's just get back into the info, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. All right. It said once the slave ships left British shores, profit rather than penalty policy shaped the character of the transportation. And what happened to enslaved whites overseas mattered little, right? So they didn't even give a damn whether or not white people was being enslaved over in America, long as they wasn't getting enslaved over here in Britain, because it would make our good white people look bad. The only people that was in America was dirty, convicted, and no good white people, and some of them aptly happened to turn that around and make some economic endurities off of the other white poors, right? This was the way for them to capitalize. right? So they didn't even care about whites over slaves. They mattered little. As soon as they were safely co-signed to merchants, authorities assumed no responsibilities to their welfare, right? White slaves aboard the ship were treated worse than dogs and swine. You understand me? They was treated worse than a mutt and a pig. I'm not saying that. They said that. They said when whites aborted the ship, they were treated worse than swine and dogs, right? And are kept much more uncleanly than those animals are. They was even dirtier than those animals. It said they was even dirtier, uncleanly than these animals. Who do you think had cosign? You can only cosign when your credit good. You can only co-sign something when you already have a government, a system in place. How can you co-sign something with good credit and insure this without already having a history of already doing this? You know what I'm saying? I mean, a progress, a understanding, a report of doing this. All right. So they said the animals was kept cleaner than some whites, right? Let's get to it. It said a witness who saw a white slave aboard a ship owned by the slaver John Stewart. Remember, they said they come to the house of stewards. We'll get to that on another note. That's a whole nother. So John Stewart reported all the states of horror I have ever had an idea of, or much sort of what I saw this man in. Chained to a board with a hole not above 16 feet long, more than 50 with him, a collar or a padlock on his neck. So this also giving account to the other story that was spoken about earlier in that particular scene. So let's get into some more of this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Drop them fire emojis if y'all can hear me in here. You know what I'm saying? Drop a fire emoji in the chat if y'all can hear me in this thing. We want to make sure y'all paying attention off in this motherfucker. All right, so let's continue. Hold on just a second, you guys. Let me get the little one situated. Hold on one second. Alrighty, I'm sorry about that. All right, let's continue where we was. Okay, in order to realize the maximum profit from the trade in whites and white slaves, right? In order to realize the maximum profit from the trade in white slaves, the captain of the white Guineamen crammed their ships with as many poor whites as possible. The Guineamen. Now, remember a couple years ago that Jabari, which is a Pan African that you see on Sonetta channel, said that his great grandfather was named Guinea Jack, and they called him Guinea Man. And I don't know. I thought that was significant when I just read this. So Guinea men crammed their ships with as many poor whites as possible, certain that even with the most collegiate disregard of life of the whites and the financial gain would still make up the trip worth the effort. So listen, they said they didn't even give a fuck if 20% of they motherfucking people died and the white slaves died. It would still make up for the worth travel and everything, even if they lost 20%, right? So a loss of 20% of their cargo, white cargo, would regard as acceptable, but sometimes losses were much higher. So let's get into that. Out of 350 slaves on a ship bound for the colonies in 1638. Only 80 of them arrived alive. Damn. Damn, that's some horrendous shit. Drop a fire emoji in the chat if y'all think that's some horrendous shit. We talking about history of slavery here. We talking about the only people to really endure slavery truly for 400 years and maybe longer is the so-called European. Shout out to Smoke Signal. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Let's get into this again. I wonder if I can get this a little larger on the screen. No, that's about as large as I can get it. I think that's about as large as they're going to allow that motherfucker to go. All right. So it said 350 of them was bound, and it said we have thrown overboard 2 and 3 in a day for many days together. So they almost 2 or 3 a day they was throwing over. Almost 2 or 3 a day. They're like, damn, this nigga sick, dead, disgusting. Throw his ass off. He ain't even worth going in a hunky hole. Throw him overboard. Moderators, if y'all want to drop the cash out for those brothers and sisters in the chat that want to support the channel or just want to give in a donation today, whatever the case may be, put the moderators, put the cash out and PayPal information in the chat for the family that want to support. I'm gonna continue. All right, a ship carrying white slaves in 1865, the Betty of London, which is the name of the ship. Go and look it up. The Betty of London. Left England with 100 white slaves and arrived to the colonies with only 49 left. 49? They only left with 49 slaves, y'all. How they ain't got no more left? We got to do better than that, man. Y'all got to keep up with y'all cargo. Y'all should at least put them in a refrigerator or something. Damn. That's some shit. All right, so let's get into it, y'all. A number of factors contributed to the higher death rates of white slaves than blacks. Although the goal of maximum profit motivated both trades, whether black or white. It costs more to obtain a black strong motherfucker from Africa, right? Rather than get a little weak capture one from Europe. White slaves were not cared for as well as black slaves. Now, I'm not saying this. This is what a European is saying. They're saying that the white slaves were not cared as well as black slaves. The whites were cheaply obtained and were viewed as expendable. I mean, this is some erroneous stuff that we're reading here. Or am I just tripping, you guys? Am I tripping? I want to make sure I ain't bugging the fuck out. All right. All right, let's get into some shit. I think we about done. All right, let's get into it. All right, my bad. Sorry, you guys. Oh man, I'm trying to pull the rest of this pages up. All right, shout out to everybody in the building that's tuning in. Drop a fire emoji, share the live stream. Very important for you guys to share the live stream. Let's give a shout out to some of the brothers and sisters that just supported the channel just now. Shout out to Roger W. He said, Happy New Year. You already know, man. We coming up on the new year too, real too. You know what I mean? Shout out to Roger W. I appreciate the donation, bro. We appreciate the support. Appreciate the shout out. And shout out to Cassandra Zorn for the $4 cash out donation. She said, Happy birthday. I appreciate that, Cassandra. I really do. You've been a long time supporter. I really appreciate you. Shout out to everybody in the building. All right, let's continue. All right, so before I continue, do y'all mind if I just take a quick break? I need to give me something to drink. Matter of fact, we're good. We're going to get straight into it. I'm going to just I'm good. I forgot I have my water right here. All right, so we're good. Can y'all following along with me? All right. All right, let's get it. In Maryland, in 1715, a reward was offered to American Indians who were recruited as bounty hunters. Bass Reeves, bounty hunter. You feel what I'm saying? American Indians, police, sheriff, chiefs. Do you understand where I'm going with this? All right. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? Do y'all see where I'm going with this? So let's read this again. In Maryland, in 1715, a reward was offered to the American Indians who were recruited as bounty hunters to capture runaway whites and return them to their masters. This is how you get that term scalper. We was running down, chasing them. We was literally running down, chasing these folks that were scattering, running through our land. How can you hire somebody or recruit somebody if it wasn't already people that was already doing this? We got to get into who taught military strategy to the United States, because they didn't know shit. They were just coming around, walking around loud as hell with the swamp foot while we moving silent in the trees and ready to, a little more stealthier. We taught them military strategy. So let's get into this. This is deep right here. So the American Indians will get paid to capture runaways and return them back for the better discovery of and encouragement of our neighborhoods. Indians to seize, apprehend, to take up any runaway servants. It was decreed that for every fugitive white laborer the Indians caught or brought before the magistrate, they shall receive. They will get a reward and have a match coat paid him and them the value of, right? So they will get the maximum price for a goddamn runaway. And they're paying them a little more for their efforts. I don't even know what the match coat paid him is. I don't even know what the fuck that is, but I'm pretty sure it's some shit. Y'all look it up. Y'all see it on the screen. This is in Macy's Laws of Maryland. This is actual law that was in Maryland. Go and look it up, where your ancestors got paid by the government because we was outside the colonies. We will come in and be hired with compensation to work for this other government as mercenaries to their government. And this is the law called the Marshy or the Macy Law of Maryland. I'll put that right here. We'll go right there with it. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's continue. All right. Right rebellions foreshadowed the later switch from the reliance on masses of white slaves to greater and greater importation of blacks because of the pliability and passivity. But throughout the 17th and much of the 18th century, the tobacco and sugar and cotton colonies maintains a sizable white slaves population. And then we get into Negroes simply cost too much to import, and purchased whites were cheaper and more expendable, right? Unexpendable until they began to fight. Planters, especially in the South, eventually elected to replace the restative white servants with the more identifiable and presumable, less criminal black slaves. So they was looked at as the worst, and we was looked at as the as the least criminal. It said the least criminal black slaves. See, we weren't even considered criminals back then. Even the ones that was running around from Africa that might have made it wasn't even considered goddamn. They wasn't even considered criminals. They were just doing some illegal shit. So we see it right here on the screen. I mean, what more do we got to talk about? We know that white slavery here in America has been one of the most hidden, non-talked about things in America. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong, you guys? We got another book we're going to get into in just a second. Because before we get into that, we're going to get into actual archaeology here in a second. Before we move on, we'll get into the introduction and the shadowing of the myth. But as right now, we're gonna move on. Don't forget, this is just a part 2. We just getting started. And like I said, this is not me to demonize, belittle, demoralize, or talk down beneath any other people. This is just here to give a true and accurate depiction of history from which it proceeds, and as we reconstruct it with the most accurate and understanding of data that we have. So we're giving the unadulterated truth on history and according to the way I see it and the way I've researched it. All right, so it said Negro simply costs too much. So we're gonna get to another one in just a second. Hold on, let's go. We ain't done. All right. Bear with me. So we're gonna get into the horrific crimes that we see on the screen. We see it on the screen. Let's get to it. All right. Torture and murder of white slaves. Now they did some horrendous shit. Sorry about the lighter flick. Sorry about that, you guys. I apologize, honestly. White slaves were punished with merciless whippings and beatings. The records of the Middlesex country, Virginia, relate to how a slave master confessed that he had most uncivilly and inhumanely beaten a white female with a great knot whip cord, so that the poor servant is a lamented spectacle to behold. And he admits to this. This is records from a man. He said, I admitted I beat her. Whippings were commonplace, as were chain collars and chains. I mean, as iron collars and chains was also a commonplace to have on. Okay? A case in the county from 1655 relates to how white slave was fastened by a lock with a chain to it. You understand me? By his masters, tied to a shop door and whipped until he was very bloody. So he was beat his back till it split open like a hot dog in the water after it got too hot. The beating and the whipping of white slaves result in many being beat to death. That was in 1662 when the Virginia Assembly passed the law prohibiting private burial for white slaves, because such burials helped to conceal the murder of and encourage further atrocities against the whites. So listen, back in the day, before the Virginia Assembly passed that particular law, they was beating slaves to death and then just put his ass in an unmarked grave. To the point where they was so many white slaves was missing, they was like, hold on, you can't put your slaves in unmarked burials. You now got to put it in a registered burial and let us know what's going on. Seriously. So let's continue. All right. A grievously ill white slave was forced by his master to dig his own grave. Since there was little likelihood that the master would obtain any more labor from him, the white slave owner made him sick and languish as he was to dig his own grave, in which he was laid in few days afterwards, and others being too busy to dig it, having their hands full while intending to tobacco, according to Jasper Dennix. So damn, man, that's some harsh punishment. You so sick and beat, you see your slave, like, man, this nigga be sick and beat. We can't even do nothing with him. Matter of fact, come here, homie. Dig your hole right quick. And he don't even know. He digging his own grave. And after you get done digging his hole, lay in it. There's nothing I can do with you. The hunky hole times 10. That's what they say happened. I ain't saying that's what they say. This is what history says happened. This is the untold history of white slavery. The history that they don't want to tell you about. They don't want you to know about that. They don't want you to know about that. So let's get down to it. In New England, Nicholas Weeks and his wife deliberately cut off the toes of their white slave, who subsequently died afterwards. Marmaduke Prince in Massachusetts severely beat a white slave boy with a rod and finally beat him to death. Pierce was not punished for the murder. And in 1655, Plymouth Colonial, a master named Mr. Lathan, starved his 14-year-old white slave boy, beat him, and left him for dead outdoors in in sub-zero temperatures. The dead bodies, the dead boy's body showed the markings of repeated beatings, and his hands and feet were frozen solid. So this is the history that so-called Europeans endeared when they came here. They tell a lie of them being here. They tell a lie of them coming and conquering, looking. No, you was brought here, and it wasn't a great experience. You have lied your way to the top. You have lied so much that made up stories of feel good about their history to the point where they have reenacted. So it goes into that you can speak things into existence. Even they have did it. They have spoken nothing about their history of slavery, and yet they have not endured it since not speaking of it. So let's continue. I'm not here to belittle anyone. I'm only here to get the full accurate depiction of history. All right. Henry Smith beat to death an early white slave and raped two of his female white slaves in Virginia. Excuse me, I didn't mean to say that. He R-word. Fuck. God damn, they just threw that one at me. I didn't even see it coming. Shit. Let me run that back. Damn. He R-word. Damn, I ain't supposed to say that on YouTube. They all were two of the female slaves in Virginia. John Dandy beat to death his white slave boy, whose black and blue body was found floating down the creek in Maryland, Polk County. Avery beat his white slave girl, Alice Sanford, to death in 1663. She was reported to have been beaten to a jelly. What the fuck? She got beaten into a jelly paste? Like it wasn't even no more human left? It was just jelly? What? That's horrendous, you guys. This is horrible. This is horrible. Why do they not talk about this horrible thing? Poor Alice was beat to a damn jelly. Now that's some shit. Now, I ain't never heard niggas say, I'll beat you to some jelly, nigga. What? That's horrendous. Erroneous. Y'all support the channel, man. Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. Well, Cash App at the bottom of the screen. All right? It's at the bottom right of the screen. Y'all support the channel. That's outrageous. That's worse than a bloody pope. Or is it the same thing? A bloody pope should be like a beaten jelly. A bloody pope is a beaten jelly. I ain't ever heard that, man. Damn. I don't even want to wish that on nobody. I don't want anyone on the planet to ever have to witness getting beat to a paste of jelly, bro. Seriously. That's not good. All right, we about to get back into it, man. I want everybody to drop a fire emoji in the chat if y'all can hear me. Drop a fire emoji in the chat if y'all can hear me. This is serious history. This ain't nothing I can just rush through. That's why I told you guys it's going to be a part 2, part 3, maybe even a part 5. It's so elaborate and much and to endure with the lost and stolen and covered up history of whites' early entry and first entry and experience in America. Hey man, today my birthday, man. Y'all support the channel, man. We got the $20 challenge today. Everybody donate $20 for Al Power's birthday today. Y'all support. We want to see how many people gonna turn up. All right, let's continue to read. Beaten to a jelly. That's crazy. John Grammer ordered his plantation overseers to beat his white slave 100 times with a cat-9 tail. Had 9 whips on that bitch. The white slave died from his wounds. The overseer, rather than expressing regret at the death he inflicted, and stated, I could have given him 10 times more than that. There are thousands of cases in colonial archives and inhumane mistreatment and cruelty, beating, and the entire lineage of Uncle Tom's Cabin horrors that administrate the hapless of white slaves. All right, let's get up to some more shit. We're gonna read this last passage, and I'm gonna go into my next segment. Okay, the next part of the history. In colonial America, in one case, the sole punishment for the murder of a white slave, explained as an incident, consisted as the master and his wife being forbidden from owning any white slaves for a period of 3 years. So that was the penalty. So if you beat a white slave to death at a certain time frame, that the penalty was, all right, now you can't own no more white slaves for 3 years. And I bet they threw a booger and threw a fit in the courtroom for that. You know a nigga did. But how the hell you gonna tell me I can't own no goddamn more white bitches? No motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? You can hear them cussing up a storm in the courtroom. Nigga, I pay 10 times that amount for that strong motherfucker. And I got 17 of them. Well, listen here, sir, Mr. Johnson. You're allowed not to have white slaves. Now you can keep your fellow brothers, but you can only not carry white ones for 3 years. After that, you can do as you please. You just picture that shit going down. Oh well, motherfucker, I'm gonna go find me a goddamn Mexican. No, sir. Now Mexicans are documented as white as well. No, just man. I'm just fucking with y'all. I'm getting into it. I'm sorry. All right. All right. So let's get back into it. A white girl enslaved by a woman called Mistress Ward was whipped so badly that she died from it. On the findings of a jury that such actions was unreasonable and unchristian-like, Mistress Ward was fined 300 pounds of tobacco. 300 pounds of tobacco is the equivalent of 7 white slaves. 14 white slaves. Because they said that they gave 100. Remember that one dude who went bankrupt that we read yesterday, said he gave away 7 slaves for 150 pounds of tobacco. So 300 pounds of tobacco is the price of 14 slaves. Okay, I'm just giving y'all update. I'm just giving y'all update. Evelyn Sykes, I'm going to check the PayPal in just a second. I will do that. Don't let me forget before I get out of here, sister. Don't let me forget. So I just wanted to get into that. White slaves. So they traded. Her penalty was 300 pounds of tobacco. You know how easy 300 pounds of tobacco? When you in Virginia and you are Aborigine and you been growing this shit, you got 80 fucking thousand acres. Nigga. That's like paying a $50 ticket to them back in the day, or a $250 fine. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. I'm gonna leave it right here. We're gonna get into another segment in just a second. So shout out to everybody in the building, man. We're gonna move on to another part of white slavery, the untold history of white slaves in America, man. So this is a good book, man. So we about to get into some more shit, man. So I want y'all to stay tuned, man. I need y'all to hit that like button. We ain't going nowhere with it. We right back at you. Hey, appreciate that attention. This Amaru Khan. Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat that sent me birthday shout outs, man. I really appreciate that. I want to send my love to you and y'all families as well, man. May we all return on another one, man. Y'all already know, man. Real talk. Shout out to everybody. Let's continue. All right. So this man says slavery they can have everywhere. It is a weed that grows in every soil. That is a quote from Edmund Burke, right? This is going to be a quote from Astratos and the atrocities on the government. It said, a man who is the property of another is his mere chattel throughout he continue a man, right? Get into it. In the summer of 2003, archaeologists excavated a 17th century site outside Indianapolis, Maryland, and discovered the skeleton of a teenage boy, right? Examination showed that the boy had died sometime in the 1600s. This is at the height of white slavery, right? He was about 16 years old and had tuberculosis. His skull showed evidence of a fearful mouth infection and a herniated disc. And other injuries to his back were synonymous with years of hard toil. Right here, toil is another word for slavery, right? The youth was neither African nor Native American. He was Northern European, probably English. His remains were found in what would have been a cellar in the 17th century house, in a hole under a pile of household rubbish and waste. It was as if the boy had little account for and was literally died and thrown out with the rubbish, right? Forensics anthropologists believe that the youth was probably an indentured servant or slave. The deceptively mild label commonly used to describe hundreds of thousands of white men and women and children shipped from Britain to America and to the Caribbean in the 150 years before the Boston Tea Party, which was in 1773. So 150 years before that, they was already getting shipped over here in large numbers. Most of these servants paid their passage to America by selling their rights and their labor to many numbers of years. Others were forcefully exiled and sold into colonies and servants for up to 14 years, many effectively enslaved. Right? Most of them effectively slaves. And I want to show y'all this image because I want to show y'all some of the image that we're dealing with. We're dealing with white slaves in America, which is you see a white woman getting beat right here. And it talked about the rubbish and the boy getting thrown out in the bodies. But look at this right here before we get into that. Look, a man coming in. You see him got the bucket about to throw on her, probably got bleach in it. He beating her with a rope. He just now getting started. Ain't even no blood dripping yet. There ain't even no blood dripping shit. So shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. I want to show y'all some shit. No, that ain't it. Damn. So now look, my bad. I want to get to this, the indentured servants. So look, this is the body that was found in the 17th century body in the basement. And this body goes back to like 1663 to 1680. So look at this body, man. Look at this. Look, found in a. This was up under some trash pit at the bottom of a basement of an antebellum Cherokee style house. All right. That's some erroneous shit right there that you're looking at. It's hard to get around it. You understand me? It's hard to get around that. So let's get into it, man. We got some more we gonna get into. So that was that article we just read that gets into more of what we're talking about. All right, let's get it. All right, and so we back at it, man. Drop a fire emoji if y'all can see the screen, man. Drop a fire emoji before I even start reading. I want to make sure y'all can see the screen. So let's go. How many of those whites who migrated to Britain were subject to abuse were associated with slavery? 100,000, 200,000, or 300,000? It was impossible to know. No one did compel, nor could they have compelled such statistics. All we can be sure of that the numbers were considerable. Time and time again, the evidence shows that this is to be the case. Too many white servants ran from their masters. Too many instances of ill treatment suffers, and there were too many damaged omissions throughout the year of British rule for white slavery to be a rarity. Located abbreviation of the quickly corrected. And in 1663, about the same time, a wretched 16-year-old boy. So listen, let's get into that same burial site. I don't want to really read that. We're going to go on. We're going to move down. Bear with me, you guys. All right, so let's get into some more. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Let's talk about the African slave trade up there. We'll get to that on another note. This talks about a blueprint to be laid down for Africans to be shipped and so. By the mid-1600s, the high proportion of the working populations in Barbados was Irish. Somewhat we know of the population of the Irish in the Indies, and their condition comes from a priest who traveled to to minister them. According to according to Father John Francis, 12,000 Irish lived in Barbados and the surrounding islands. He also reported 600 Irish in the small town off of St. Christopher. An official observer whose report and preserved in the state papers reported that in 1667 Barbados had more than 760 preparators and effective men, of which a very great part Irish, derived by the Negroes as white slaves. So they was brought. They said they derided by the Negroes. So Negroes brought in white slaves. Like they said, it was various different people had their hands and feet involved with it. You know, it was other people that was on their side, like the Jew, making bad contracts, coming over here, getting with the Negroes, and doing bad contracts with us. And that's why Jews still behind most. And no offense to anyone, I love Jews. I'm not anti-Semitic. I am a Jew. All right, I am a Jew. Uh, they do faulty deals. They do faulty deals. We just gonna move on from that. All right, they do faulty deals. All right, so let's get into this next segment, and then we're gonna probably get ready to get into the next little part of the bill. Shout out to everybody in the building. White slavery wasn't confined to rural America. The archives of the Hampton and Northampton iron workers near Baltimore provides a day-to-day evidence of the interrace slave workforce in operations over decades. The ironworks were owned by the Ridgely family between 1750 and 1800s. The Ridgeleys brought 300 or so white servants, most apparently convicts, right, and put them to work alongside black slaves. Professor R. Kent Lancaster researched the archives and emerged with a picture of endless sweats and harsh discipline. Everywhere there were hard physical labor, feeding the furnace or working the forge, mining the ore or filling the trees with fuel, hauling the ore or in the ore and in slack sometimes. Being put on farm work, time, books, catalog, and the near perpetual toil of callers work within the 26-day month, which only Sunday free. Who the fuck is calling me? Oh shit! Hold on just a second. Let me answer this phone call. I'll be back in 60 seconds.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with Perky, now that hair right numb his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost see, I glossed to we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
Sorry about that. Hopefully everybody's good to go. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I want to continue this live stream, man. So I want y'all to hit that like button though. All right, drop a fire emoji if you're enjoying the live stream, man. We got the poll in the chat. Also, if you are enjoying it, hit that poll. 2% of the chat says no, they're not enjoying it. 98% of the chat is enjoying it. Shout out to the 98%. The 2%, you can politely leave if you're not enjoying the live stream. Shout out to the sister, man. Shout out to Miss Sykes. Shout out to Evelyn Sykes for the Cash Out donation. She sent in a $19 Cash Out donation. We really appreciate that. Shout out to Miss Evelyn. We really appreciate that, sister. Also, shout out to T. Shout out to T. Just straight up T. Shout out to T for the $30 to $35 Cash Out donation. Shout out to T. Shout out to T. We really appreciate the support. We really do, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Let's put that on the screen. Cash Out and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. Drop them fire emojis. Y'all ready to get right back to this information, man. Drop a fire emoji. Now let me know if y'all ready. I did have a little video dealing with indentured service on the Mayflower. So I want to get into that little segment in just a second. So maybe I will. All right, we see some fire emojis back up in this thing. Y'all know what's up, man. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, man. Y'all know we cooking up some dust. So hey, man, I'm gonna play this little historical context dealing with the Mayflower and then in the indentured service. And we all know through the literature and through the data that we just accumulated that the word indentured service being loosely used in often cases when in terms where people were identified as indentured service were treated and beaten and actively done worse than a so-called quote unquote slave. Right? That was done worse than fucking animals. All right. So let's listen to this, man.
This is the story of the Mayflower, actually, of the Pilgrim voyage. On 3 days before or 2 or 3 days before they landed, the majority of the people there, over 50%, were indentured servants. And they staged a revolt on board. And what came out of it is the famous document known as the Mayflower Compact, where all the people there were declared themselves equal, free and equal. They revolted against the form of servitude that most of them had been committed, had signed up to put themselves under. And through a revolt of revolutionary servants, the first New England colony, Plymouth, became a democracy of sorts. It was a limited democracy, but it was the most democratic society at that time in colonial America. Well, in the colonies, the most of the colonies, or all of the British colonies, were really set up by corporations. And as soon as possible, people who were hooked into it, who were often indentured servants, where they signed up for passage for a certain number of years, they would have to work off the money that the passage cost, and then they were able to get off on their own. And as soon as they got out, many of them just ran away from that form of bondage, and went off into the wilderness. So, but as soon as they got into their own communities, into small towns, small villages, they were basically cooperative communities there. The cooperation was and democratic procedures were basically the way they settled the country in the early years.
So that's a small little clip of some shit dealing with white indentured servants. So yeah, man, y'all should definitely look into some of those court records and proceedings. Definitely some deep shit. You know what I'm saying? That y'all should look into. All right. So, but we got more we want to deal with. We want to deal with the Westell Wimling and his indentured service in 1622. We're gonna be dealing with some of that. Shout out to everybody in the building. We will be dealing with some of that. Um, we also will be dealing with the runaway indentured servants decision of the General Court in 1640. We'll be dealing with that whole preliminary case studies of the Virginia Assembly. So yeah, we got a few other things to be looking forward to. I want to keep these things short and compact when it comes to that. We also going to be talking about Virginia law on indentured service of 1705 as well. So yeah, shout out to everybody in the building. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this live stream dealing with white slavery. Matter of fact, I might drop the link in the chat to see if anybody wants to come on. I see people disagreeing, asking why am I talking about this? Why do I talk about white slavery? Because it's my fucking channel. Excuse me. Sorry. Is this your channel? Dickwad? Excuse me. You understand what I'm saying? No, this is not your channel. So you don't dictate. If you don't like it, beat it. Don't let the door hit you in your bussy on the way out. You understand what I'm saying? It's history that I want to talk about because nobody talks about it. Shout out to Shy Apple. What's going on, brother? Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday. Happy Earth Day as well, Shy Alpha.
Me to it, damn, Bap. I was trying to tell you first, little bro.
Nigga,
Let's take this shot.
I came out first, so I told you when you came out. Happy birthday, little bro.
I was holding on to your ankle.
You slid on out, though. It's all right. We came through the gate. Goddamn. Shout out to you, man. How you enjoying your day? Hopefully all is well.
Yeah, it's good, bro. You know, I got my birthday, my Earth Day. It snowed for up north Nagas, you know.
Yeah, it did. Nigga, I heard Jersey got a little snow. We got a little bit up here, too. Like I said, it was hailing and flurrying all night. It was good. So I just dipped out of here. Shout out to everybody in the building. Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to entertain the foolishness in the chat. That's what I say. We gotta stay away from that, you know. You gotta stay away from that type of activity. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Drop them fire emojis in the chat. The call-in number is on the screen as well. Make sure y'all call in. Make sure y'all call in, man. Call in. We want to see y'all call in today. Let's get a few call-ins. Shout out to everybody in the building. If y'all enjoy the live stream, man, double tap that like button. Enjoy the live stream, man. Y'all know what's up, man. Big Al bringing in some of the birthday with you, with y'all. And we got Hawk School on this motherfucker, man. Y'all see what's going on?
Tribe, man. Happy Earth Day,
Man, that's what's up.
Riders never die. We immortal. Enjoy it. And y'all don't be scared to take
boy from Florida. Boy from Florida, hit the link. I don't know what you're talking about. Hit the link.
Take that $20, the 20 for 20 challenge. You want to be challenging today? Take that challenge. Links in the chat.
These niggas fake love Al Power.
Take that challenge. They always want to challenge you. Take that challenge. 20 for 20. Let's go. What's up with you though, bro? What you got planned? You feeling good, man? Make sure, shit, man. I'm just chilling, man. Just came through, man. You know what I'm saying? To make sure to remind you, man, to love yourself today. You know what I'm saying? Go do something for yourself, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm about to, man. I'm about to get out in a second, man. That's why we ended this one early, man. I just want to give them one. You know what I'm saying? Because I got these episodes out. But yeah, man, I want to definitely bring it in with the family. This is the sixth one in a row. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely got some shit planned for today. About to get out. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Feeling
right.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Smoke good, eat good,
Mm-hmm.
jump
Definitely
fresh
about to
on
go
them. You know
eat
what I'm
good.
talking about?
Probably about to go eat some seafood. You know, I like to fuck with the seafood.
Yeah,
It's
you
a little
know.
black owned spot. They got all you can eat. So, you know, all you can eat and seafood, big bap in the same sentence. You understand, big. You know I got to get to it.
Real river god shit.
Yeah, man. So yeah, what y'all got going on? Y'all enjoy the bill. Listen, if y'all ain't hear no mind blowing shit on these last two, wait till you hear the third one, man. We're gonna get into some crazy shit. We're gonna get into the court documents and case laws and General Assembly laws as well. So it's gonna be dope, man. I can't wait to get into this. Now, my challenge for you guys is to go and find the laws where black people are slaves on law in any assembly, or Indians or Aborigines were slaves. Go and find that in any assembly law where it was allowed and it was a legal law. You can't find it, man. So stand down, Pan Africans. Stand down. Y'all gonna have to get y'all reparations another way. White people already got their reparations for being indentured servants. You ain't hear that, nigga? After they got land afterwards. Ain't that what y'all niggas screaming y'all want? Y'all saying fuck money, give me the land. White people already went through their slavery and got land.
Don DeMarco.
Y'all wasn't slaves, nigga.
Shit like that.
Or
Shit like
was you
that.
slaves? Which one was you? Now I'm asking. You know, hey, boy from Florida, why you be putting some weird shit in my chat and then they don't hit the link, dude? Boy from Florida, talking about getting the cage, nigga. I get in the cage with any one of you little bitty ass niggas, man. On an Aboriginal challenge, nigga. We're sending money to the donation to a charity, nigga. Beat your motherfucking ass.
Don DeMarco.
That's what anybody asking me, nigga. I'm in the best shape ever. Nigga, I'm putting up, nigga. Just know we putting up some shit. Just know you niggas too little. Nigga already got they 40 acres in a mule. Nigga, they sold a mule and got a tractor.
Don DeMarco.
And they was real slaves. And we're gonna get to part 3 tomorrow and get to the case laws. They was the only slaves on record in the areas where your peoples lived and where they saying that you was enslaved at. Even though you was the niggas that was buying the slave. It said derived by Negroes, brought here by Negroes. But y'all don't get the bigger picture. It said owned by Indians and Negroes. Y'all don't get the bigger picture.
Hey, you know what, Babby? That's why you got those Knights of the Golden Circle in the late 1800s. They had like 6 ships and they was going and kidnapping motherfuckers from the coast of Africa so that they could paint this narrative. That was when they started doing this whole reconstruction, reset ass shit and changing history. So that's when they went around grabbing up Africans, trying to make it look like it was some niggas getting grabbed up. Knights of the Golden Circle.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. The call-in number is on the screen. Y'all can call in. Y'all motherfuckers can call in. We can wrap this thing up ASAP.
Where they at?
We ain't with the bullshit today.
Grand Rising, Don Juan DeMarco.
Peace, man.
Hell yeah, Atlantis is rising.
You see it?
Hell yeah. No, I can get down with the Atlanta stuff, man. Let's take a swim. So happy birthday, Bat. I don't know how old you are. Don't matter. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro.
That's
Hey,
what.
boy from Florida, man. That nigga know what to do, man.
Say, so why are you doing my people like
That
that,
nigga
Bat?
jump in the fucking cage. Yes, I've been wanting to get in the cage with him.
Bat, why you be doing my people like that, dude? Don't be showing my
Before I started working out, boy from Florida. Yes. Tell that nigga get with me. Pop on the panel. Tell him come offer it like a man.
He never gets on. He's in every chat. He never gets on.
Tell Top Cat come talk to me like a man if he want this work.
Oh, you can't handle Top Cat. I know that guy. He's a real one. He's out there putting in work, man. You guys should give him some props on that at least. He's a real one, man.
What's going on, Truth?
Man, happy born day, man, to my two brothers, man. What's
Man,
up?
You're already.
What's up, man?
Yeah, happy born day, brother. Much respect, folks.
Big dog Philly OG, man.
Much love and
Appreciate
respect.
it.
Happy born day, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate
Grand
it,
rising.
man.
Damn, it
Appreciate
feel
it.
good to be Aboriginal around this motherfucker.
All the time.
Marco. Shit like that.
Well,
Much respect, my brother Truth and
Yeah, what's good,
Peace,
OG?
OG. Peace.
What's up, How? What's the word, bro?
Peace, True. Peace, brother. Peace to the tribe.
It's good to have the gang back together.
Ain't no
just
gang,
gonna
man.
keep
Don't
trying
come
to
on
put
here with that,
yourself
man.
up in.
Take that word
I
out your
enjoy
mouth.
saying it was nice music to the ears. That's all.
This nigga
Ain't no gang members up here.
No, not like that. Come on, man. All my favorite people
Fuck
gathered
all
in one
that.
place.
Nah,
I'm
fuck
sorry.
all that.
No, it was the wrong word. You're right. It was the wrong word.
I'm glad you a fan, man. I'm gonna sign your shoe, bro. It's all good.
Oh yeah, dude.
He wants you to sign his titty. He a rock star.
You funny as hell, boy. It's bad birthday, man.
He throwing panties on the stage and shit.
So what do you think, man? Hey, we had it pretty bad, didn't we?
We been trying to tell you that you was fighting it.
Well, of course we were fighting it. We can't be contained. That's the problem.
No, I'm talking about you was fighting.
No, y'all was
You been
fighting that
trying
it
to
even
tell you.
happened. Y'all said that it never happened. None of you said, no, we were no such thing as white slaves. And we never did none of that.
We was indentured servants.
Well, I never said that at all.
Yeah, you did. As a matter of fact, you did.
It's okay. He looking for forgiveness.
Bat,
He just don't know how
you
to ask for
inspired
it.
me to do a stream on white slaves, my brother. Enjoy your birthday, brother. Much love and respect.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. I want to inspire everyone to do a lot of research. Big dog Philly OG in the building. Look at him.
OG, hell yeah, Philly. Oh, he's got the Vipers on, dude. He's got the Vipers.
You know all them glasses. Them your favorite kind, ain't they?
No, I don't even wear. I just see him on the videos. Everybody's wearing them.
Philly OG go scare the shit out of the nigga walking up to them on. The only thing saving us is the beard.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you don't ever fuck with a man with a beard like that. That's for sure.
He come from a warrior family, and he's a real Atlantean.
Tribe.
You don't grow no fucking beard. You ain't no Atlantean, son.
Yeah, seriously. At least
tribe, you already know. Tribe. Much love to the tribe.
Yeah, beards represent it is like a tribal thing. Beards represent like seniority and wisdom.
Yeah, it comes from warriorship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you give respect to that shit.
Up top.
Yeah, not you little smooth booty face ass niggas.
No, I ain't smooth booty face, but I ain't like that. I ain't that old yet. I ain't that wise.
Hey, when we talking about my peoples, we ain't talking about you troglodytes. We know how y'all come. You understand me? Hey, did you hear about the real honky hole? That was some deep shit. You hear that?
The honky hole. No, I don't ever been there.
No, I'm saying we was reading about it.
Fucking with his PTSD, man. You can't do that, man.
That shit was.
Yeah, the honky hole is a real place, bro.
That's a real thing, bro. We just read it on the screen, bro.
I know. I was reading with you guys. I know. I read a lot.
They said all thing was in there was contagion, infection, death.
Yeah. No. Like I said, I can't say I read the exact article that you read, but I read many articles pertaining to white slavery and all that stuff. It was bad news, man. Yeah.
Man, it's a lot. We just on part 2. Part 3 coming tomorrow.
Oh, it gets even the third parts. It gets no better than this.
Yeah, man. We actually show the laws and shit, the records.
It's gonna be crazy. Oh yeah, it's a horrible time, man. Human beings are funny people.
Now I want y'all to go show the laws and the records where my peoples was enslaved. Since y'all keep saying we came from Africa and was enslaved.
Well, it tells you right in the article you're reading if you didn't bypass it.
No, it said Africans, not and we talking about Aborigines and Indians folks that was here, bro.
Well, the Indians and whites and the Negroes are all separate in that article. It says it right there. So there's no way to claim that you guys are Indians.
No, bro. It said end. It said end.
It said Indians. I noticed that. I read it with you. My comprehension skills are good. I read it.
It said Indians and Negroes on
And
white.
whites. No, it said the Indians were hired to hunt the white slaves, and the white slaves were replaced by.
Oh, that was in that article. We reading various different articles from observations at different times.
I know.
And we talking about the Northeast, bro. We not talking about your little plains.
Well, of course you were.
Indios,
It's 17. It was 1710. There was only the Northeast. The whole what the country.
Have you seen what the Northeast Indian look like today, nigga?
Listen, I'm not going to argue with you, dude. So,
no, I'm not arguing with you. I'm asking you a real question. Have you looked at?
You're not Indians. You're not Indians. Now you're Indians. Now we're playing Indian today. Come on.
Look, bro. Look, bro.
So we're Atlanteans, Indians, we're Moors.
Hey, look.
Why
man.
do you
gonna go to the virtual hunky hole, bro? You keep fucking over top. Hey, ain't this what motherfucking Sanchez was getting on your ass about the other day, bro?
Yeah, because he's wrong.
You overtalk motherfuckers while they talking.
Not at all. That guy overtalks.
Yeah, bro. He was trying to get his shit out, and you kept doing this rambling shit you doing now.
Sanchez is a mute king.
See, look. Hey, look, man. I thought y'all went to like elegant school and shit and learn how to, be quiet while somebody talking. I ain't gonna tell you to shut the fuck up.
Well, we're having a back and forth.
Nah, we not. I can't even get it out. So ain't no back and forth. You just pushing.
You're the one talking.
Scallywag culture is a motherfucker, boy.
Oh,
I tell you.
The Slavic culture.
Yeah, man. Y'all got this honky.
No, I want to have a conversation with you, Trees, but you're the one talking.
I mean, you won't even let me say what I'm got to say, bro. Like, you throwing me 30 fucking questions off 2 words I said. You gotta let me get it out.
Spit it.
All right, look, bro. So, if you look on the Northeast, look at the tribes over there, and tell me, do they look like the ones they show you on TV? Those people been there, and they never left they shit. You feel me? We ain't gonna get into, certain shit that was done and reasoning and all that, but they there.
Yes, I agree. There is Northeastern Indians, but they're not black people. They're Indians. But that's not to say that some of them didn't have interracial relationships and produce child of mixed people.
AP.
That's what you guys don't want to admit. You guys don't want to admit that you're from them. You guys want to say that you are them.
Nah, I'm not them at all. I'm from Mississippi. Them don't get it twisted. I'm not claiming to be from fucking all of America. I'm claiming where the fuck I'm from in America and my connection to the rest of the people in America. I'm not from the Northeastern tribes.
Fair enough.
You feel me? My people is from the Mississippi Valley region.
Southeast Indians totally separate from everything else, bro.
Yes,
yeah, sir. I know. Yeah, tribes are different. Like exactly, I know they're different. Every tribe's different. Some tribes might be similar, but most tribes are different, and that's the way it was. They all have their own territory, their own rules.
Yeah, everybody ain't descendants of Atlantis.
No, I understand that. But my whole thing was, as in the article says, that the Indians, because they didn't have to abide by the government's rules, were hired as these bounty hunters to go pick up these slaves and bring them back to the slave masters. But it also says that the white slaves, were then, after a while, replaced by black slaves because it was cheaper. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. The slavery isn't about color. Slavery is about whoever's available at the time that's the cheapest.
All right, so look, have you ever heard of the King Philip Wars, bro?
No, enlighten me.
All right, so the King Philip Wars, the reason why they call it the King Philip Wars, because Chief Padawan was a name they like to call him, the foreigners, was King Philip because of the way he ran his dynasty. All right. So the King Philip Wars was connected with a multitude of tribes and shit, and they went against the European doing all those wars. Prisoners was captured and put into slavery. You feel me? Well, what we would call slavery today, servitude. A lot of them were sent down into the Caribbean.
Okay, I'm following you. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm just saying, like you talking about, prisoners of war is not necessarily slaves, but the concept of what we speaking of and shit is that you need to understand these wars that was going on during these times and shit, so you can understand the landscape. After every war, somebody went into some form of fucking bondage.
Well, if you look into the Barbary trade, you'll see that them for lack of better terms, pale face people was being traded for sequins, my nigga. You talking
That's a
about
Yeah,
fact.
prices?
yeah, I do agree that people were
They
oppressed and
sold your
things.
people for a pound of black pepper.
Probably
And
cheaper.
tobacco.
Yeah,
Nah,
probably
I ain't even
cheaper.
on
Sequins,
no
my nigga.
funny shit, bro.
Yeah,
For
Black pepper
bedazzled
and
jewels and
salt.
shit.
yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, that was the currency back then, like to conquer things. When you conquer stuff, you got the spoils of war. But yeah, I
Until they came to America and seen the gold and silver.
well, everything started changing at that time, anyways, because that was the time England actually ended slavery. They got out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Culturally.
that went into the 1800s allegedly.
No, you can actually look at the date, but yeah, culturally, the world was just moving away from slavery because slavery is
Hey,
around.
not a coincidence. Hit the motherfucking link and come on up
Well,
here.
if we talking about England, we gotta talk about the atrocities and the servitude that they put on the Hindustan continent, what is known as India today. They was still fucking servitude and bondage in those peoples and shit, damn near all the way up to like the late 1800s. So clearly, um, they didn't do away with nothing. It was speaking on the Americans, it's just what they couldn't do.
And
Yeah, well,
truth, that's what I was about to say. Slavery still goes
Facts.
on today in the Middle East and Africa,
no,
still
I
to this
agree.
day.
It does. You're right. You're right, OG. It does.
Okay.
That's horrible. We got to fight slavery everywhere, dude. And I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a proponent of it. I think it's horrible. I think it brings out the worst in people. Uh, that's all I can say about it, really. I mean, it's the 21st century. Is it a problem? Yeah, it's a problem. But is it like a plague of thing happening? No, but it's a problem. We're gonna solve it. You know, the sex slavery is the big thing now. People, it's more about not about working, I guess. You know, they're still working slaves, but it's all about the sex slave trade now.
Have you heard of it was an international agreement to abolish slavery in 1924. Do you know what that was surrounded around?
No, again, enlighten me.
White women
Yeah, what were they fighting
being
for?
bought and sent to America to be pussy poppers.
Nice.
Straight facts.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy to think, man. How many thousands of years?
Not to mention, shout out to my homie Hefe when I was doing that West Coast bill. He sent me a newspaper article about the native women who was being sent from China to the West Coast to be sex servants and shit. And it's just funny that they was classified as the native women. And this was going on in the late 1890s into the early 1900s. And the United States Postal Service was involved in it because their ships was being used.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy shit.
Facts.
Yeah, man. Tell Dr. Coincidence to get up here, man.
Yeah, and then and
Come
bring
teach
that
us
bring that
DNA.
1700 map of the barbarous tribes of the southeast, which is a map of America with you too, nigga. While you talking about the barbarous shit, don't have nothing to do with the Americas, goofy. Bring that with you. Don't when you bring your badge, nigga.
Say
Oh,
that.
you guys,
Remember that like you remember your badge when you leave the house, nigga.
you guys want to smoke today?
Hey, ho. Hey, ho.
Say that.
You wanna know what's crazy, ho? Because I'm starting to try to even figure out where do this word Barbary come from, the barbarian, all that shit, right?
Yeah, because
BB.
it's like a misnomer almost, ain't it?
Yeah, because I seen some shit the other day about the Lucayans and shit of the Bahamas, and they was classified as the barbarian. But normally when we hear words like barbarian, we think like warmongers, but they was described as gentle and nice and
Exactly.
peace loving.
Yeah, man. It's
But they
upside
had
down
that
word.
title up on them and shit. You feel me? And this
No,
was
Yeah.
in
dude,
like the 1500s. No,
they're the
this was in the 1490s.
that's no cap, man. They're the nicest people you'll ever meet. If you ever go to the islands down there, I went to the Virgin Islands. Man, them people are just about like the nicest people you'll ever meet, dude.
Not true.
Was you spending
I'm sorry.
money?
Hold on. Let me rephrase it. From my experience, for me personally, they were very nice to me, and even the ones I wasn't spending money on, they're living a life of fucking
They get
fantasy.
paid to be nice to you. It's a tourist attraction. That's why they were nice to you, because you're bringing resources to their country.
Jesus Christ, you guys, come on. Damn it, man. Jesus. Okay.
Nah, that's
they're
a
bastards.
fact, bro.
I'm
No,
saying
That's
they're
a
evil.
fact.
They're evil.
That's
All right.
facts.
All right. They're evil fucking
Nah,
liars
we not
lying to the
saying
white
they
man for money.
evil. Hey, look, bro, we
Jesus
not
Christ.
saying they evil or none of that shit, but you really wouldn't know because they're looking at you as, like, for instance, right?
Damn, man, y'all motherfuckers never smile, dude.
Hold on.
You guys never smile?
Let me give you an example, right? We gonna take it out the Bahamas, right? Now, I'm not saying that Africans got a problem with us or none of that, but I know that whole return to home shit is a scam. They want niggas to come over there and spend money and build up shit that they literally can't own according to their own constitution.
Yeah, but truth. How about this? How about this? I don't think
So
they
why
really
would
want you.
why would you advertise the shit as some return home,
Because
knowing that knowing that the motherfucker could never own shit based on your constitution.
Yeah,
so how
it's
is that
true.
really home if you don't own nothing? On top of
Because
that,
truth.
they charge you 3 times the amount as
I
the
think
locals,
I think
and they call you twab, which means foreigner.
yeah, I think you're
Why?
misunderstanding their point of what they're saying. They're not saying come back and live. They're saying come back, just soak your roots a little bit. You know, come back to the homeland and maybe visit it and go back home. They're not saying you got to be African. They're just saying come back and find
It's
your
not
roots.
my
You did
home.
not.
That's not our home.
First off, bro.
It's not your home, and you're American for sure.
Look, Pete Gang, that's not what you saying is not true. They're advertising that shit to niggas as come home.
Oh, I see.
Like,
I don't agree with that.
get out of America, come home. But
Oh, okay.
you
Yeah,
can't
I don't
own
agree with
shit. How the fuck is that your home? Now, just on the flip note, right? I like to meet shit where it's at, right? I don't like to go above it. On the flip note, nigga, that ain't my fucking home by blood, right?
I feel you.
But just on meeting them where they at their level, right? Meeting them down on their level where they speaking from and they understand it. How can you tell a nigga to come home and they can't own shit according to your constitution? Your people's charging them niggas 3-4 times the amount. They up the white man's ass more than they so-called brothers and sisters coming home.
Plus, it's not your culture.
It's not your culture. Call them twat.
Yeah, it's not your culture. You guys are Americans. You're not Africans, or or whatever country in Africa. So it's foreign. I don't blame it. It's a ridiculous premise to say come back home, but like you said, that's not our home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even more so than saying like that would be like someone starting go back home to Lithuania thing. I would be like, what do you mean? I don't live in Lithuania. That's not my home. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I get the disrespect in that for sure, and I don't agree with that.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Much love and respect to everybody in the chat. Grand Rise.
Salute,
Power to the
big
motherfucking
dog.
people.
Salute, big dog. If I may interject.
Salute, my brother. Much respect. You already know what it is. Who you is.
If I may interject, I just wanted to say that barbarians are not us, but Berbers we are. All Moors are not Berbers, and all Berbers are not Moors.
Facts.
But we are something way different, and they know this. They know these Aboriginals in America, aka England, aka Albion, aka the world. They gonna have to run it back. Period. Because we're waking up. We know the truth now.
Is that why
we are not barbarians. Barbarians come from over the way. Berbers was here already. English, Anglo-Saxon Berbers. That's why we speak English. And everybody who come here got to know our language to come fuck with us.
Don DeMarco.
Period. They cannot, man, the game is over, truthfully.
Hey, so look, peep game, right? It is just showing that these words, man, you can't even really trust a lot of these words. Basically, because the reason why I even brought that up was because, we know the definition that they give to us about Berbers and barbarians, yada, yada, yada. And then we also know the meaning. So here it is, you seeing this word being used in a whole nother location it shouldn't be, but even the description of the people go against the meaning of what the fuck that shit's supposed to mean.
Facts.
Like, how can you call somebody a barbarian and then in the same sentence talk about how they gentle and loving and peaceful? That's not no
Not
barbarian,
us.
according
Not us.
to the definition. So it's a
Facts.
lot of contradiction in a lot of this shit.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. I don't understand how you can link a whole people just because of their ethnicity or their culture or anything to people that they never had anything to do with. It's kind of messed up. You know,
So
like
why you come over here and do it every day?
Right.
no, that's not what I do at all.
Yeah.
You said no.
You just
Ain't
said
nobody
it. You
wrong.
just said it clear as fuck. You just said
Bro,
it.
we could put a whole hour mixtape for your ass interject and try to call niggas Africans and shit, bro.
Big
Oh
facts,
fuck
truth.
no, man! I'm
Big
here
facts,
trying
brother.
No, I
No,
say you guys. I say you're
Let me. I'm
Americans.
just saying. You're not Native Americans. You're Native American.
Big
Like
facts,
what?
my brother, truth. Big
Yeah, but
facts,
you're
brother.
truth. You're not Native American unless
I
you have Native
know.
American blood. Unless you have Native American
I
blood.
don't claim to be Native American because that's
Okay.
foreign to the American
Native
soil, bro.
American ain't even native to here. They came from
Man,
Siberia.
you got to
There you go.
understand,
exactly.
bro. Hey,
There you go.
look,
They
man.
came from Russia and migrated
I
here.
think this where your big misconception comes from, and a
And
lot of
truth.
other people. Yeah, yeah.
They're
My bad,
government
brother.
agents. Now you good, brother. I'm gonna give it right to you. They migrated here and the government is paying them to do what they're doing. Go ahead, truth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they were the first inhabitants of the landmass,
nah, bro. Hey, look, man. I think
and we
that you
kicked them off.
Cool.
so look, peep game, bro. I think that you get this big conception that motherfuckers just start claiming this shit because of contemporary history, right? So, like, bro, I don't need no genealogy to even show a full blood motherfucker in my family that died in the 80s.
Well, to validate it, you do.
I mean, I don't have to
Well,
validate nothing to nobody because it's already stamped, sealed,
facts.
and approved, my nigga.
That's not the way
Facts.
it works. That's not the way in your reality and in your life, yeah. But in
I
reality,
mean,
that's not how it
what
works.
you mean? We still in our homeland, bro. I mean, yeah, we,
I mean,
motherfuckers to moved out, but the family is still foundation in our homeland, and none of us ever no motherfucking slaves, and none of
well,
us never
of
came
course,
over here on
yeah.
no
Hey
fucking
Rob,
slave
that's
ship.
why we
Wasn't nobody
that's
no
why
free Negro, no
we
none of
can't
that
be
goof ass
deported,
shit.
brother. You can be deported. We
Say
can't.
that.
No, we
Say
can't.
that.
No, I
You
can't.
can be deported, my friend.
No, I can't. That's absurd.
Yes, you
So
can.
why why keep acting like you are African or whatever you is if
I'm
you
not an
can't be
African.
deported?
I'm not.
Do you have an embassy?
I've never said I was
Do
African.
you have an embassy? So you just an
I'm
invader
I'm an American citizen of the country of the United States of
Yeah,
America.
his people was
or the
expatriated.
corporation?
How long ago did you get
Uh,
your citizenship, Rob? We always had ours. How
Fortnite.
long
Well,
ago? You
Born with
had to
it.
wait. You had to wait 7 to 10 years to get your citizenship,
no.
Rob.
What are you talking about? Are you out of your mind? Come on, OG. If we're gonna talk, then just talk real. But
Oh, he
don't.
an anchor baby. He was born
Hold
on the
on.
land,
They don't
man.
have
He an anchor
immigration
baby.
services where immigrants have to wait 7 to 10 years before they can get their citizenship, Rob.
I'm like fifth and sixth generation immigrant. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying it's
Yeah, anchor
immigration.
baby.
They can
Hey,
get sent back to
keyword
their
immigrant.
homeland, Rob.
Of course,
We
I'm an
can't get
immigrant.
sent back.
Immigrant.
America was never a country until 1776. Everybody's an immigrant to some
What you
shit.
mean, bro? We had hella civilization here,
Oh,
my
here we
nigga.
go.
Y'all
Here
came
we
over here.
go. No, you didn't.
I mean, look,
Again,
see, this what I'm talking
you're
about.
Go
trying to say
back
This
to
what
you
I'm
did.
talking
slave
You're
about right
trying
land,
to
here.
say
Rob.
you
Go
did,
This
but
back
is
to
what I'm
slave
talking
you're
land,
about
my
right
using
brother.
the
here.
Indians. You're using the Indians'
Nah,
history.
nigga. I mean, what you mean? I'm using my family history. What the fuck is you
No,
talking
you're
about?
not. Show me
That's
something.
what I'm talking about right
Name something,
there.
truth. Name something,
Look,
truth. Name something.
name what? What you want me to name?
Any part of your history.
What you want me to tell you? My family?
No,
Nigga,
no,
I don't know you.
no, and
Oh,
no, no,
right.
and no.
What the
Any part of
fuck?
no, not that.
Nigga,
Any
that's
part
a
of your
pro.
history. Any part of your history. I'm not saying your family.
What you mean? We was farmers. My family still pick cotton. They still farm. We still got our land. What else you want to know? We still live off the water. Well, I mean, what else you want to know? We still live off the land like it's always been lived,
None
like
of
how
that
we
has
taught
nothing
y'all,
to do with your
like how we
lineage.
taught y'all,
Are you?
how we
Oh,
taught y'all.
Facts.
Like
you're Choctaw.
that's bro, that's modern as fuck. That shit fake as hell.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. You
I
said something.
said like we taught y'all.
Oh, tossed you. Okay, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, when y'all came down there and they just dropped you off the boat and shit, and
Mhm.
y'all had nowhere to go, so y'all came amongst us to get jobs and shit.
Okay.
Then they
Do
utilized
you
y'all with mopo
yeah.
peasant
Do you have
immigrants and
any
shit.
do you have any written evidence of this?
Go to Ellis
Happy
Island
Born
and
Day, my brother.
you'll see big ass ships
Back.
full of white people,
Yeah,
motherfucking
they
from
weren't
bottom to
picking they
top,
weren't picking
full of
cotton during
immigrants
Ellis
who had
Island.
nowhere to go with everything
Yeah,
they owned
immigrants,
in
not
their
slaves.
hands.
Those weren't slave ships.
Hey,
They
make
had
sure
nowhere.
y'all hit that like button,
Those weren't
Damn
subscribe
slave
left.
the
ships.
channel,
Hawk,
and
Hawk.
share the
Them was
live.
straight slave ships.
Support my brother on his birthday.
No,
It's
they
his
were
born day.
immigrants. They weren't
Nigga
slave ships.
Sally Muller, nigga, look it up.
Shout out to
I
Big
already
AP.
know all of it. Shout out to Big AP.
My
Happy
Naga.
birthday. Happy birthday. Copper colored grizzly bear.
Shout out to Sally Muller for finally getting her freedom and shit after being a peasant servant for 21 years at the age of 8.
Yeah,
Shout
I
out
know.
my
Facts.
nigga R-Truth.
I know. You pull these quotes out of history and use them, and it makes me laugh.
Nah,
Because
I got the actual documentation and the court
I
records.
know you always do. You got every
And
documentation.
then I mean, you gotta
You must have
understand.
a big library or a big computer. You
I
must have
mean,
a lot
one
of
thing that you
terabytes.
don't know about me, Rob, I used to go live too myself. All this
Okay.
shit
Hey,
is on my
Rob,
channel.
you act like you're not for the system, but you all for the system. Like I always say, all you do is regurgitate the information of the system,
They
brother, and
called
say
his
you for
ass
the
Rob
people.
E.
Straight
You're
Island.
not
garbage.
for the people. You're for the system.
No, OG. I told you this
Yes,
before.
sir. Yes, you are.
I maneuver through the.
You're
I
for the system,
maneuver. I know
not
I'm
for
not.
the
I
people.
maneuver through the system and try to avoid it at every cost, every aspect
All
of
you
my
do is
life.
regurgitate the system's
No, I'm not pumping and
information.
regurgitated. I'm just pumping actual facts. It has nothing to do with the system. This is before the system was invented. The
You were
facts.
miseducated
Oh
also
man.
about history,
No,
sir.
I'm sorry. I was
Y'all
not
are the true Africans or the people that came from Africa. That's why you don't want to take your culture.
Yeah, well, now
The
you're going
system
back
told you
millions
you
of
came from
years. You're
Africa,
going back
but
millions
you
of
don't want
years.
to accept it. You're
You
the
jump
true
from
African.
you just jumped from slavery to to 3 million years ago. That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense.
Hey,
Man,
you
I'm
know,
just
you
shut
ever
the
saying,
heard?
fuck up.
you're the original African. The
Everybody's the
slave.
original Africans. Everybody.
Nigga, you
No,
crazy
you
as
No,
are.
fuck.
I ain't African, dude. Trust
Yeah,
me,
you
I'm
are.
not African.
Well, of
You
course
a
you're not.
goddamn lie.
We're
And
born in America.
your whole everything you speak about is like so much lies, dude.
No, your
And I don't even know
DNA.
why you come over here.
Your DNA
Cause
is
That's
your
false.
game
your
is so
history that
dead.
they teach,
Get the
Rob,
fuck
in
He
the
out of
get
here.
paid.
school
He
system.
get paid to come over here.
This nigga whack as
That's your
shit, man.
history.
Hold on. Your
That you
DNA
evolved
is.
from monkeys.
I have it written down right here. Your
That's your history,
DNA.
Rob. That's not our
All
history.
okay. Ready? Listen. All
DNA?
non-Africans.
We don't want it. We
All
don't want it.
non-Africans
We
are
don't
no.
want it.
DNA?
We don't want it.
Fuck out of here, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't
Shout out
stand
to my
fake ass
nigga
people,
AP.
man. I
Enjoy your
can't
born
stand
day,
fake
brother.
ass
Much
people,
respect,
dude. I swear
AP.
to God.
He
That
booed his
motherfucker need to
ass
be
mid.
dragged
He
by a
booed his
truck.
ass mid sentence. You funny as hell. Happy birthday.
Salute.
I
Salute.
appreciate that.
Salute, bat.
My
Salute.
Naga. That's my Naga right there. I got nothing but love
Salute,
and
bat.
respect for that brother.
Hey,
Appreciate that,
y'all in the
y'all.
chat, take
Appreciate
that 20 for 20 challenge for Bat birthday.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a load on bat. I just gotta get right. I ain't got no what they call that cash app and shit. I'm about to
I
line that
appreciate
shit
that.
up.
Everybody in the
But
chat,
I'm
man.
gonna drop a load. I'm gonna drop a load on you, bat. I'm telling you.
Appreciate that. It's all good, brother. It's all good. You know what I mean? Appreciate the love. Appreciate the birthday shouts out. Shout out to everybody, man. Bringing it in on another solo return, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Another
For
one
sure.
down. Many more to go. Y'all know how it go. But shit show.
It's a beautiful time to be alive, man.
We got nonetheless on here. What up, though?
Right.
Oh, salute.
What up,
Salute.
yo? Salute to the God,
Salute.
yo.
What's good, OG?
Salute.
Hey, yo.
Peace,
Happy
bro.
back day, bro. For real, for real. Motherfucking celebrate shit. My nigga. Nigga finally 30, yo. You in the 30 club now, yo?
Oh, he grown.
What'd you say,
Grown.
bro?
I said, you finally in the 30 club, yo? Or you already past that, yo?
Yeah, I'm past that, man. We like 2 in the 30s.
Oh, okay, nigga.
Oh, you done turned 30
Yeah,
twice.
stop
Yeah, he
calling
about
niggas
30.
old.
He about 3-2.
Yeah, nigga, stop calling niggas old too now, nigga. You old now, nigga.
Yeah.
You could get in the OG clubs.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
tired of
go
that
to the
shit, yo.
lounge now, nigga. You ain't gotta go to the
Yeah,
club no
the
more.
lounge, my
It's
nigga.
all
You out
Yeah,
the
lounge.
nigga.
club, you going to the lounge.
Y'all niggas
Yeah,
funny as hell.
niggas
Stepping
don't
in the
call you no
name of
more,
love
nigga.
looking ass nigga.
Right.
Yeah, they don't charge at the door though. That's the only good thing.
Yeah.
They
Salute
they know the old
OG.
niggas in there buying young bitches drinks and shit.
That nigga said give him
Respect.
some foot cream. That nigga funny as hell. That nigga got jokes.
That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Slavic. Bro,
Get my
Slavic
nigga
still
some
up on here,
argyle
yo.
socks, man.
Don't do me like that, y'all. I ain't that old. Goddamn. Shit. You get
Nah, you
better.
ain't old, yo. You just
Nah,
Is
ain't.
you
you.
putting them black socks over your white socks? Is that what you doing? Getting married today?
Yo,
You know
football
them
player
dye
retired
fuck with my
32, nigga.
toes, nephew.
Yeah, nigga, you ain't fresh out of college no more, nigga.
Nah, man, we didn't hit professor status, man. We trying to raise the
Yeah,
consciousness of other like-minded brothers like myself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
nigga.
I'm one that you is inspired by. You know, it's okay to be inspired. You know, people that got
Exactly.
away from that. You know, we got to get back to being inspiring and being role models and being inspirational to our people. Oh, it's not a bad thing to look up to someone as a standard to try to meet or even to go surpass. So, you know,
Big facts. Big facts. Be an inspiration. If you can't be shit else in your life, be a motherfucking inspiration to somebody. And that's what we doing. That's what y'all doing. That's what you doing, Bat.
facts.
Inspiring people. You feel me? This shit ain't no game, man. This shit dead ass serious. And you pushing the envelope right now, boy. Keep on going down through there. Keep bringing up all that truth that need to be told. You heard me?
Nah, real
Keep.
talk, bro. Real talk. Nah, real talk, bro. And I appreciate it coming in with the Aborigines once again. It's my 6th birthday, solo return. You know, with the fam. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody that's been here through whatever one you locked in. You feel me? Big
Yes,
Chief,
sir.
appreciate that. Shout out to Jennifer Chapman for the Cash App donation as well. Shout out to Jennifer Chapman for the $10 Cash App donation. We appreciate that, sister. We really do. Shout out to Jennifer Chapman, man. We thank you, sister. We appreciate that. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hopefully y'all enjoying y'all motherfucking Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Northeast got slammed with snow. I'm pretty sure the Midwest is tired of it. You know what I'm saying? What the weather like down there in Atlanta, big dog?
Man, I'm in Atlanta, man. It's 81 degrees where I'm at.
That's drop top weather.
Beautiful.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
It's
That's drop
it's
81,
top
in
man.
weather, man.
it's in the
I'm
70s
about
in Georgia. I love it.
yeah, I'm at
It got
81.
beautiful.
I'm in Latonia. I'm at 81, man. It is beautiful. I'm about to go back
Hey,
on my deck
Man,
and
fuck both of
chill.
you country ass niggas.
Man, nigga,
Nigga, it's like fucking 50
man,
degrees
they don't
out
Man,
mean
you
here.
gotta
nothing.
get it.
Snow on
You
the
gotta
ground
get
and
the
shit.
purple up there, Truth. Trust me.
Nah, it was just snow. Nah, the snow about to come hit y'all nigga like they did in
oh,
California.
hold on. He said it's 80. Damn, it's only like 45 degrees where I'm at. Shit.
Yeah, y'all got to get the fuck. I was born in Detroit, man.
Yeah, my bad. It's
And
79 degrees in Georgia where I'm at.
yeah, I had to get the
79.
fuck on, man. I can't live like that.
It was just 80 up here though, yo. It ain't cold.
Yeah,
When
it's
no, it
79 in
was it
Georgia.
was like 70 something degrees the other day though. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be pretty
That's
warm.
what's up.
Thursday it'll be pretty warm.
Right.
It's gonna
Yeah,
happen,
exactly,
man.
bro.
Wherever our children is at, we gonna be all right. Trust me.
We use some motherfucking 86 degrees right about now. God damn.
Boy, it's beautiful down here. Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
about to go
beautiful
back
in
on my
Georgia
deck
too,
and
brother.
chill.
It's short weather in Georgia. You can wear some shorts.
Yeah, it's
Short
57 in
t-shirt.
Cali. Yeah, y'all weather better than Cali
Man,
right
I
now.
can't even leave because the roads is closed and shit, bro. Like, we
Yeah,
stuck in
Oh
this
57 in
bitch.
St.
damn.
Louis. It's 57 in St. Louis. As soon as it hits motherfucking
Nigga, you
70,
from the
it's up.
Windy City. You should be used to it. True.
Nah, they got the roads closed, bro. Like
Ain't
literally
Nova
all the
Store.
roads leading east, nigga, is closed.
Damn, they
80,
closed them.
Wow.
15,
Why?
all
Cause
that
of
shit.
snow.
Yeah, cause you gotta go through a mountain and shit to get past it and shit. Like,
Shout
yeah.
out to Nova Store. Appreciate the shout out.
Nigga, y'all
Yeah,
niggas
man.
gotta get some
Nice
sleds. Nigga,
weather
that
to
shit
try to
fun.
go uphill and downhill, and especially for them big rigs. You know what I'm saying? Hell, that's some
Oh
nasty shit.
God.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that
I've
shit
dealt
ain't no
with
joke.
I've dealt with it my whole life. It snows in the Smokies, and it ain't nothing but hills and going up and down around that motherfucker. So I know what to do.
Period. Hmm.
It's a different ball game when it's in the elevation and de-elevation areas,
Ooh,
nigga.
them deep.
Yeah, man.
Them downgrades of motherfuckers. You know, flatland, nigga, I do donuts through that bitch.
Yeah,
Thanks.
don't
Man, I
try
love
donut
driving in the snow, man.
on the damn hill if you want to. The damn mountain is going down.
Yeah,
Shit, I
y'all
hate
niggas gonna
driving in
spin
the
out.
snow.
Driving in the snow, it ain't going, ain't the problem. It's stopping that's an issue. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
nigga, I
You
was
could
in
go
I
all
remember
day.
one time back in 2008, 2007, I was in a little S10 pickup truck going up, and I was on this hill, this very treacherous hill, and I was in a stick shift, and it was snow, froze, man. I'm telling you, I about fucked up everybody's
Hey
car
man,
behind
the key is to stay away from that brake, man.
3
You stay
feet,
away from
Oh,
that
bro.
brake, you can ride all day.
online, man, nigga. I'm looking at Mount Diablo outside my window,
Yo,
nigga. It's snow caps like a motherfucker. I ain't
Y'all
never
need
seen
that
that
four
shit
wheel
since I've been
drive.
out here. Hey,
yo,
this nigga Bap Country, the motherfucker, those nigga said a S10, bro.
You heard it?
Boy, it's only
That
certain
boy
type
said an
motherfuckers I see in
S10.
the S10, nigga.
Yo,
Boy, I thought I was
that
in
nigga,
Greenville, Mississippi.
yo, that nigga was driving that motherfucking watermelon truck, nigga.
That's that
yeah, I had
trapping,
just
that's
started
that
doing
trapping pickup.
carpenter work, bro. Listen, I had another car, but I had just started doing carpenter work, so I had to pick up a little piece of shit ass little truck. It was a little S10. It got from there to there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I dropped my S10 down 4 inches and shit from the ground. Put some cherry bombs on the back of that motherfucker. Yeah, man,
Oh
swap the
wow, man.
305 out and put a 44 up there, man. Nigga,
Yeah, yeah.
supercharged.
Get you a Ford Raptor, put your damn 6-inch lift kit, 32-inch motors, slide out that back end, drop it. You know what to do with it, man. Big dog status. You ride them big motherfuckers. Yeah, yeah.
For
Motherfuckers
sure.
love them trucks down south, man. That's all you see. I ain't been in truck in years though. They got that Hellcat truck though. Ram got that new Hellcat truck. That's nice.
Nigga, they got that same engine in the motherfucking new minivans they got. Nigga, I had rented one, boy. That motherfucker was, man.
A minivan,
Nigga, oh God, I feel like I was in a Hellcat in that
a
motherfucker with a bigger
minivan
body.
Hellcat. That's different.
I'm telling you, what the fuck? It is made by Dodge. I forget the name of, but
Probably
yeah,
an
bro.
SRT.
Man, yeah, that motherfucker got all the doors open up with the button and shit, bro. And that bitch get ghost, nigga. I was floating through that motherfucker. I made it from Cali to Oklahoma in like 17 hours.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. Shit.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty goddamn
Yeah,
impressive.
he got out there. You got out there, true.
Nigga running from the storms, nigga. Getting the flatland, I can handle it.
Yeah, yeah. What y'all got going on though?
Nothing, bro. Just enjoying the bill. You know, that's my favorite subject right here. The
Hey,
motherfucking the Slavic trade, nigga. Real.
hey, you
Yeah.
check your email belt.
Uh-uh.
It's all videos in your email, man. You tripping.
Oh, all videos. Damn. Let me go to my shit.
Fire ass bill though, Bap. I enjoy how you bringing that shit out. That's so dope.
Man, I appreciate it.
They need to know the truth, man. The truth can't be hidden. The motherfuckers told the truth in reverse. That's all. Keep tearing their ass up. Stay on their neck. Flat out.
Nah, got
God damn
to.
it.
We ain't letting up off of these boys, man.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
It's
Can't.
too
I got
late.
that same picture, nigga. Yeah, they had about 5,000 people on that motherfucking boat, nigga.
Facts.
You seen that shit? Yeah. All
But can't but
all
can't
squad.
find but can't find one boat of us deep like
Yeah,
that.
no pictures. Yeah, they got the little pseudo ass
Come
movie and
on
shit.
now. Come on
Right,
now.
motherfucker.
Motherfuckers
Let that have been some
reverse.
niggas though. They'd have been doing a backflip. Know what I'm
Man.
saying? Like I told you. Like nigga, shut the fuck up. Bro. We got
Facts.
mad evidence of them motherfuckers coming over here as slave owners, man. Shit just
Deep as
gold.
hell. Deep as hell.
Yo, but you can notice though,
But
they
hold
had
on,
contracts. But
I've been meaning to play this, so let me play some of my new intros, outros, library, some new graphics we got. Let's hit it, man. How y'all like that?
Yeah,
oh
that's
yeah,
for
you in
your
the
audio.
motherfucking
That's
library
dope.
and shit.
That's dope.
Look at all the sources, nigga. That's all the sources right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga, I
Yeah.
got
That's
'em.
dope. That's the
Yeah.
catalogs.
That's in Bab House right there. That's your house. Quick.
We got a
Facts.
new, there got another one. Let me know how y'all like them motherfuckers, man. That's the new edition.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's dope right there, yo.
Look at that. Uh,
Hey, a quick question for y'all brothers. Do life experience or book knowledge, which one should come first?
Life
I say
Life
life
experience.
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 Yeah.
I would say
Yeah,
life experience. I would say
yeah.
life
Because the book
experience,
is just
but you
interpreting life experience.
right.
Some
And a
colleges
book
will give you a
is
degree. You
someone
feel me?
else interpreted of their experience.
But
Right.
you
Right.
know, some colleges will give you a degree just from your experience. You know what I'm saying? They it's
That's
called
a
an
fact.
honorary degree. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Facts.
Now,
Big facts.
I'm not against books like books for the health, business books, law books. Those are the kind of books that I don't mind reading, especially business. But I'm not
Right.
Yeah.
against all books. I'm just against religious books. That's all. Just to clear the record.
Facts.
But I look at those books as business and law books too, though. That's how I look at it. Because I ain't going for no shit that I can't, you know what I mean, that I can't relate to. But I can see the
Facts.
symbolism in that shit, bro. That's why I look at them. I just look at it like that.
Right. That's
History, and law is one and the same.
Exactly.
So yeah, we
yeah.
got to know these books.
Certain
We
things
got to
that
know them books.
in history made it to where they had to create laws to be put in place. So history, then law. You know, and law comes with that history. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, it all works together, bro.
even when they're dealing with a law, like when that law was put out, that's the history of the law. You know what I'm saying? You got to get
Right.
Hmm.
Like you said, Bab, you spoke about case law, and like I said, I heard none speak about case law. None very intelligent, man. Boy, we on one.
Yeah, I
Cause case
appreciate that,
law is
bro.
everything. Case law is everything.
Well, you get the
And,
case law to get ideas from because sometimes it'll give you ideas like you'll start writing shit. Like when they say like I write you'll start writing your own shit. Like I got shit that I wrote
You went out, none.
Yeah, let me pick up on him though, because like you said, case law and like you say, just law and period. You know what I'm saying? It's something called res judicatus. That's a Latin word, res judicatus. But once they put that shit on paper and make it law, we can win every case because there's no going back on it. Do that make sense?
No, I do.
There's something called res judicata. It's like say the Dred Scott case. That shit is on paper now. So we can go back and correct that shit.
Yo, did y'all hear me?
Period.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I hear. We hear you now. No.
Oh no, what I was saying was I had wrote like the counter ignorance of the law, right? Did y'all hear?
You
Yo,
breaking up now.
You
my
breaking up,
bad.
bro. You breaking
Did
up,
y'all
big
hear
bro.
me? No,
No,
what
you
I was
No,
saying
we
still
ain't
was
hear nothing.
like your last little 45 to 50 seconds was cut off.
As soon as he
okay. What
said
I was
case
saying
law.
was I wrote my own shit for ignorance of the law is no excuse. Like
Right.
I put on here right just in case somebody ever came with that shit. Like ignorance of the law is no excuse. However, even if you ignorant of the law that applies to you and or protects your right in accordance to who you are, that leaves no excuse for anyone or any entity to infringe upon your rights as applied in law. Meaning the infringement of someone's ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So just because somebody's ignorant of the law, that still doesn't give you the right to infringe upon that right. So that's what I think
Facts.
when you talk about that's what people misconstrue what religion is. See, these your enemies going to take it as man worshiping and you coming on their philosophy, but that still leaves them no right to infringe upon your rights because you still a part of the creation, the creator. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You still are a creator in your own right,
No, that's
just
some
like them.
that's some shit though, man. That's
Facts.
a whole nother, but shit, man, I'm about to get out of here, man. I got a few things I gotta do, man. I enjoy bringing in the solo return with y'all, man. Hopefully y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I'm about to get out, man, take care of a few things, enjoy the rest of my motherfucking day. You
That's right.
understand me? And
Salute God.
I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Make sure y'all hit that
For
like button,
sure.
support the
That's
channel,
right.
thumb up the
What
video,
you hey
support
Matt, what you smoking on today on your born day? What you smoking on?
man, CBD.
Reggie Miller.
CBD.
You finna shut the fuck up. Shut the
Enjoy your
fuck up
day, my
right now.
brother.
Hell
Much
All
no.
right,
love.
yo, peace to the gods, yo.
Hey yo,
Much
CBD.
peace to the
love.
gods,
Peace.
man. Love
Peace to
y'all,
the
man.
God.
Man, it's
Much
all
love.
love, man.
Salute.
Y'all be safe, man.
Salute.
Hit that like button, share the live stream.
Enjoy your born day, man. Enjoy your
I
born day.
am. I am, bro. All the time, bro. We out of here. Peace.
For
Shout out to
sure.
everybody in the building too, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button before y'all go, man. Y'all entering and exiting out of the library. Next time y'all in my motherfucking library,
Look at that library. Look at that.
keep y'all tone. I'll be talking all loud and shit. You know what I'm saying? See you
We
on
are royalty, man. We are royalty. Let's keep it going. Go.
that's a fact, man. We out of here, man. Peace and blessings to everybody. Go.
Shelly. I really been feeling. Yeah. Yeah. We gotta carry on. Like Mr. Caldwell sang, I know that faith is all we need. I hear them church bells ring. A lot of strange shit is going on inside of this train. Programs is being ran and shit is one and the same. When your thought pattern is different, they look at you strange. The same ones you used to see me with, now we estranged. Cause now my mission different. It's some shit I gotta attain. As I go inside my mother's womb, my soul was ordained. I battle alone. The war zone is Babylon. My one task is to bring the flock and the cattle along. Trying to change the vibration while niggas they Babylon. Now focused on getting my money tower of Babylon, my catalog.
self-subscribed, I'm staying strong. I know my destination, I travel, don't know the roads. Don't give a fuck about this status and status quo. Combative is data low. Cannot compute with this blockchain. I'm pinging off of towers, can't triangulate my pen game. I'm off the grid. The lyrical EMP, they try to follow down a rabbit hole that's filled with TNC. The last of a dying breed, just aim fire and squeeze at demonic chapters. I know the sigil on his sleeve.
And crush the regalia, shining like diamonds to the sea. I'll show you Wonderland. It's up to you if you believe. The son of the matrix, shining like nothing you conceive. A bomb with a pen, removing nothing's gonna leave a line by the wind. We smell percussion in the breeze, the drummer go in and leave nothing but the leaves are not in the grin. Be the last thing you ever see in the problem with him. Lead to a problem with a den. A lion sent down from Zion, bringing drama to your kin. I promise I'm like Obama or Osama. It depends on how God order my steps. When you stepping up to him, I'm different. Can politic or demolish them, pick a fence and stay behind it. Cause the lions is out again.
Peace and blessings. I'll see y'all on another one. Be safe. Be aware, stay vigilant, stay dangerous. Be out.